Okay, returning once again to go over the new songs. I guess we can start off with Into the Vortex being the first one. What can you tell me about the title and any meaning therein?
Okay. Into the Vortex, when I set out, first of all, when I set out to do the lyrics for Raw Talent, we've mentioned before that I try to keep Seance very personal. It's the one project where I feel a bit of an autobiographical nature coming out. So with the Seance release, we're going to be, studying just where I am at any given time, and the songs themselves or the lyrics will be a reflection of what's going on in my life at this point. Now, at the end of 2013, when we started commencing on this project, Into the Vortex actually being the first song written for the album, I became increasingly aware of age, not just through the nostalgia or trying to reconnect with old band members and such. It just came to a point of looking in the mirror and seeing how the face changes as you get older. And again, I'm kind of at that dividing line of not so old but not so young anymore either. And I think I'm not alone in these feelings. I mean, it's very difficult to start to see or feel the changes that happen with age.
Right.
So when I went about thinking of concepts for Raw Talent, I think age is a very central factor in this. Perhaps the eye of the vortex per se, where the concepts are beginning and radiating out throughout the CD. Also, working on multiple levels here. It happened at this same time when I started really starting to think about these things. My attention was drawn by a much younger woman, okay, which was a really bad time for things to kind of come and meet in that vortex, so to say. And it really, looking at beauty of youth, okay, it really became kind of a Beauty and the Beast story, maybe.
Okay.
Almost kind of seeing myself by looking into the mirror and seeing those negative changes happen, at the same time longing and full of desire for somebody much younger and somebody much more beautiful than I. And remembering the time when I was young and beautiful looking in the mirror. And I think the combination of these factors in life really were forcing me to want to write for the record. Into the Vortex, I think ultimately the title, Dan, is kind of a black vortex of realizing that these things are gone and there is no turning back the clock. So in some respects it's kind of negative aspect of it, but at the same time a very realistic and very true one, that this beauty of youth is no longer attainable to once you have crossed that threshold or plunged into that vortex, and it becomes a very dark reality that you're either going to deal with or you won't, and how you interpret that situation will be independent of the individual and affect their future decisions of their life. So it's a very crossroads, maybe a quintessential midlife crisis type song.
Well, That I can appreciate. I mean, it is something everyone eventually will have to deal with. Now, is there any other sort of themes to that? Anything in the lyrics in particular, or anything that has any other sort of inside meaning or anything to that effect?
I think when the song starts out, it's kind of again, it begins with innocent question, okay, of do you love me, do you care about me, okay. The answer that's given there is begins with this rather strange yes I do, blabbity black, goes into a very kind of creepy voice speaking, you know. Yes I do being very casting a shadow of doubt over the whole maybe the whole truth of the answer that this person is receiving.
So sort of said to be a questionable response.
Yes, exactly. And again, I this is more of a play off of staring in the mirror and asking the question and almost having your inner self respond as almost a creature like thing looking at this aging face in the mirror and kind of seeing yourself as, you know, this kind of old, horrible thing. So it's just, and which goes into the lyrics of again, pondering things that you can't have. It's kind of like forbidden fruit. You try to reach for the fruit up there and you just can't get it anymore, you know, and then it's thinking about somebody, again, in this case, a young girl, and then it almost goes into a prayer type situation where the person's like, hear my prayer, listen to what I'm saying, almost kind of praying to God, or, you know, for help, and then returning once again and realizing, looking at the mirror once again, that there is no more time, you know, that time has passed for such a venture. So.
Now let me ask you this: did you basically take this concept and intentionally make this as the first song on the album here, or were you more inspired by the music of this first track?
When he said this song actually came by itself. Omen sent me this song, just saying this is what I have done, and I remember it being very distorted. Like he wasn't watching his recording levels, and the drums kind of had this cracking sound going on, and it almost like it's like the whole song's ready to break apart just listening to the music. And I wasn't sure that I wanted to even record the vocals over it due to which I thought was a technical error on his part, and it certainly was. But I kind of felt that there was something to that, almost kind of just barely hanging in there thing. And again, I was pretty conscious when I started this record, going through these emotions, that I really wanted to channel these feelings that I was experiencing at that time. And I felt that the shakiness of the music, like it was just ready to fall apart, really, I felt the character, or myself, being put through the character, or translated through the character in the song. I really felt that I'm going to try doing this to see if it adds any dimension to the song, and put some weird effect on my voice, which cracks and does the same type of thing, and almost like listening to an old radio or something, you know. And I really felt that the whole concept is datedness, the whole concept is age, the whole concept is losing touch with what is new. Kind of, there is no cocoon in this song, there's no rebirth in this song. It's very just kind of real. It's more leaning towards from life to the grave type of thing, kind of straddling at that age, you know, where you don't feel like you have a whole lot more chances in things. So.